Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Justin here, and today we're back at it with a brand new NBA video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the man, the myth, maybe not quite the legend, Jeremy Sochan. I may be pronouncing his last name wrong, and apologies if I do, as I always say when I pronounce something wrong or possibly do. I'm not the best person at pronouncing things, if you can't tell already, but Jeremy Sochan is a guy that I wanted to talk about, and I actually got recommended to talk about. So here you go. Here's the credit I asked on Twitter, and make sure to follow my Twitter because I ask for video ideas all the time. And thank you for recommending Jeremy Sochan for a video because I wanted new prospects to talk about and new film to watch and all that. And being able to watch film is kind of my gig right now because there's nothing going on. You know what I mean? The season doesn't start in for a couple months, and I got time to kill and YouTube videos to make. So let's talk about Jeremy Sochan. And most of you guys that have watched my videos in the past know how this goes, and I like to bring up his stats, his college stats that is, and I want to bring these up because it's very inductive. I don't even know the word that I'm trying to say. It shows how stats in college don't always rub off in the NBA, and potential shows more through film than stats. So he averaged 9 points per game, but he was never really meant to be this, elite scorer in college. And I don't think he'll ever be that in the NBA. He might be, but I don't think it's ever going to be that case. So he averaged 9 points, as I said, and that's something that you see. And I bring this up in a lot of videos that 9 points a game isn't something that jumps off the stat sheet, especially, look at his efficiencies. He shot less than 30% from three-pointer and all that, especially with the NBA, the way it's going in the past, 15 years or so, 10 years or so. Three-pointers have been very, very important, and somebody that can't shoot is almost a liability at times, and that's something I am scared about Jeremy Sochan. But what I will say is that what he provides on the other side of the ball, and that is defensively, is top tier for his position and top tier for how old he is, I should say, right? He went ninth overall in this last draft, and a guy that I really do enjoy watching because we see so much offense in the NBA that once you see a really good defender, it almost brings a new light to this whole basketball thing, and that's why I really enjoy him, playing. That's why I like watching him play from film wise, and I'm sure it'll be the same as soon as he touches a NBA court for the first time. But I think he's a great ad for the Spurs, and being drafted at the 9th pick, you don't have such highly expectations as like a number 1 or a top 5 pick, but you're not like such low expectations where you're a second round pick or something like that. So I think him being able to come in and just provide some defense and then work on his offensive game is going to be very, very important for the Spurs' future. So I'm very excited to see what he can do, improvement wise on the offense side of the ball, because I haven't even talked about his best skill set when it comes to offense, but I want to see how he can improve when it comes to shooting. And I also want to see how he can improve on defense. And he's already a great defender. So, having this baseline of very good or good defender coming in as your rookie year tells me that he can become an elite defender. And that's something that I think is very, very key to the NBA, especially if you can't shoot, you better be able to defend, because otherwise you're a completely negative asset and you probably won't get playing time and you probably won't be in the league very long. So Jeremy being able to defend will get him through his first couple of years until he can at least develop a jump shot to a certain point. But once you develop that jump shot, or what we could hope into at least league average jump shot, then we have a really good 3-and-D player and a guy that can also improve past the 3-and-D mark. And that's something that I think is going to be very, very exciting to watch and see him develop throughout the years. It's going to be something that I will be very interested in watching, and I think a lot of people should be maybe not so invested in his first year, but I could definitely see within the second or third year he could be one of those guys that's kind of catching eyes, the radar of some of the big national media. He's going to be on that, of just a player to look out for. I mean, being on the Spurs, he kind of has a disadvantage because Well, the media doesn't ever talk about the Spurs. And to be frankly honest, coming from a Timberwolves fan, so I know exactly what's going on here, there really hasn't been much to talk about, with the Spurs the past handful of years since the championship runs and all that. They've been, pretty consistently either a first round exit or a non-playoff team, which is weird to say with the Spurs, but it's pretty much the case past couple of years. And something that I do really, really expect to see is that Gregg Popovich, Coach Pop, to really coach Jeremy up. I don't know if he's going to retire in a year, and even if he does, I expect Jeremy to learn so much from Coach Pop that I don't even know how to describe it, because a guy like him is going to learn so much through a specific coach like Coach Pop, because Coach Pop is very, 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 very good at developing a defensive-minded player into a player that can score. And you saw it with Kawhi Leonard. And I'm not saying Jeremy Sochan is the next Kawhi Leonard, but what I am saying is that he could definitely provide on the offensive side of the ball eventually. And it's something that I'm excited to watch. I think the Spurs should be in a situation next year where obviously it looks like they're just trying to just completely tank, which makes sense. Trying to get Victor Wembanyama, which makes 110% sense. And Jeremy Sochan being able to get run on a tanking team is going to be very, very exciting to watch. As I constantly say, I want to make it a clear point that looking at his college stats is very, 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 I can't say very enough. Like, it's not important in a way to look at his college stats. Of course, there's a line where, if you're just not producing at all, then okay, your college stats are important. But for him, it's one of those things where his college stats show enough for me to believe in him. And I always like talking about these guys that can produce at a NBA level while being slept on. Even though 9th overall pick is like, oh, you're really being slept on. I think that there is a situation where that could be considered slept on, because you are drafted 9th, and I haven't seen much at all regarding what he is doing, especially at the college level or during any of the combine, any of that. Matter of fact, I'm not even sure if he, went to the combine. He might have not. That's how little I heard about him coming into this draft, besides the fact that he might go top 10, right? Besides that basics like statement, I didn't really know much about him. But looking into his film really shows me that this guy is the real deal, and he's a guy that can definitely produce in the future for the Spurs. And Spurs fans, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. As you guys usually know, I like to know from the whole NBA community what you guys expect out of Jeremy, not only in his first year, but in his career. And guys, as I always say, remember to like, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.